Yesterday evening, we lost contact with a well-placed source who went undercover among the followers of Rambaldi. He managed to infiltrate a cell run by Anna Espinosa.
Anna?
Our source, Agent Jacobs, informed us that Anna has been working on something referred to only as the Machine.
About as bland as it gets, to be honest. This sentiment is what I carried almost my entire playthrough, and once again, it feels like another game on this system that takes longer than it should, or more accurately it deserves. This sounds like I have nothing but animosity towards this game, and in some ways I do. I really think this game could have and should have been better. Around the third mission of the game, I feel like this game really could have opened up to me, but unfortunately it feels like it just falls flat on its face almost immediately after this. And for a stealth action game, it really doesn't feel like any stealth. I'm not sure if my standard of stealth is too high or if my expectations for these games come from my time playing Splinter Cell, but I've noticed this trend on this console so far. Either it's too difficult to implement stealth, or stealth has yet to be the entire focus of the game with its mechanics tailor-made for this playstyle. Either way, it does not feel like it fits at my expectations.
As well as what Sark and Anna are up to. When you find the disc, bring it back to CIA.
Alias, made by Acclaim and released on April 6, 2004, is a TV show tie-in game for the PS2, Xbox, and PC. The show itself was actually pretty popular in the early 2000s, with very positive reviews online, some even giving the show a 9 out of 10, but for some reason, it ran out of steam by the 5th season or so. However, this game takes place in between episodes 19 and 20 of the 2nd season. I never watched the show, but reading some of the reviews online, most of the praise goes to Jennifer Garner herself. Speaking of star power, all of the voice acting and character models are done by the actors from the show itself.
Slice this baby into the secured camera cables, and it'll let us see what they see. It's pretty cool. Raise the prism. Last but not least is this fingerprint replicator. Now, I got this idea when I was playing with glue and peeling it off my fingers. Did you ever do that when you're a kid? The glue and the dried, then you kind of feel like a zombie with the dead skin. No? You never did? So, as I was saying, satellite surveillance over the casino showed some pretty tight security, so this could come in handy.
Onto the story of the game. Although that in itself is kind of bland and generic, even though it was written by the staff that wrote the show, you play as Sydney Bristow, the show's main character, as one of her coworkers goes missing on a mission while looking for something called the Machine. Turns out he was spying on a lady named Anna Espinosa and her cult. Also, it turns out, she has teamed up with a mercenary named Sark and Sydney's ex-boss, Arvin. The game takes you around the globe to find and secure evidence on what this machine is and what it's used for. Turns out it's a plot for mind control. After finding out what the machine is, she finds information on the whereabouts of her coworker. Turns out he's being used as a guinea pig for the device, and it's your job to rescue him. You find him in an insane asylum alongside that mercenary from earlier. Turns out Anna betrayed Sark and has him cooped up inside it as well. You rescue both of them and trade intelligence for safety with Sark to find out where Anna is and what she's trying to do. Turns out she's trying to use a diamond to increase the efficiency of the machine.
Quiet night tonight.
You get to the diamond before Anna does, but it turns out that Arvin was lying in wait for you and has hostages, forcing you to trade the diamond for their lives. But as soon as you hand the diamond over, Arvin reveals that he had planted bombs in the building. Now you have to escape. At this point, Anna double-crosses Arvin and leaves him for dead in the building. Turns out they knew that you were there because they had a mole in the CIA the whole time. After defeating the moles, you and your team come up with a plan to stop Anna, leading to her bunker. The culmination of the game ends with you defeating Anna and leaving her in the bunker as it collapses, along with the machine. Onto the gameplay. It's kind of bad if I'm being honest. The stealth once again feels like an afterthought in its own genre, mostly due to how the camera operates and how Sydney moves in and out of stealth. Although I should clarify that there is more than one thing I get confused about this game. There is a crouch button and another button to go into stealth. Both buttons seem to operate in the same exact way, except that crouching isn't considered stealth. So you can slowly crouch up behind someone without alerting them, being quiet and slow all about it, but they'll notice you, forcing you into combat. However, the stealth button forces Sydney into a slightly different crouch animation, but are forced to move at an unbearably slow pace. Almost too slow for it to even matter. The enemies in the game will move faster and cycle their animations faster than Sydney can catch up with them, so you might as well just run up on them, get up in their face, and get a few hits in before they get up and start noticing you. Speaking of combat, the combat also sucks. There is a punch set of combinations that barely connect, and a kick attack that is better off being spammed than being integrated into your normal combat set. Interestingly enough, the developers had to have known this, so they added weapons that you can pick up and use, like a classic stick, pan, broom, and the best of all, the gun. However, they must have known that the gun is actually fun, so they had to nerf it to the ground by forcing the magazine to be only 15 rounds that shoot in a 3 to 4 burst. But when the 15 bullets are up, Sydney just opts to just throw the gun on the ground and goes for her preferred sport of bare-knuckle boxing. But once again, the insight they had that this game wasn't that good must have been on point, because Sydney's health slowly regenerates over time. Also, if you happen to find yourself in combat with 4 or more combatants, you would best hope that you had found a weapon prior, because you will get staggered and knocked onto the ground, in which they can still hit you. It's crazy.
Sweet! Now, hack into the computer.
Onto the music and art direction. Pretty much sums it up. The art direction is pretty bland for the most part, and the budget surely went to facial scans of the cast of the show, and it shows. There are some times where the camera splits off and shows multiple things happening as you're playing, like in 13. Well, I think it benefits it, like in 13, it hinders it in Aliases. It cuts off too much of the screen. And then when there are countdowns involved, it usually shows the countdown on the top right of the screen. And when this happens, along with the splitting, it might as well just have someone waving their hands over your eyes. It's neat at first, but when I can't see too well in the dark, and the screen starts splitting off, it's just so annoying. Musically, the game's pretty good if not repetitive. The score was written by Michael Giacchino, and it really sells the classic James Bond feel with its melodies. However, the songs are kind of boring and repetitive themselves. It sounds too samey from track to track. There clearly wasn't a lot of passion behind this, in my perspective at least.
I couldn't have done it better myself.
I couldn't have done it. Sid, I've lost my beat on
Interestingly, Acclaim weren't the first people to make a game on the show. That title goes to the episodic releases on the PC titled Alias Underground, developed by a company named Dream Mechanics. This game must not have sold very well because they were now out of business. Looking at reviews at the time, I must be rather pessimistic. My feelings on the game aren't as positive. You received 5 or 7s out of 10s on release. I'm not as forgiving. I feel like a 4 is giving it its best credit, so I'll stick with a 4.
Sydney, I never thought I'd see you again. Alive, anyway.
Thank you everyone for stopping by and watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, I would really be appreciative. My next video would most likely be on Area 51. Thank you and everyone. Have a great day.
Oh.